Yes, hello everyone. We are here today. We are back again, and we are here at Kota in America. Today we are back for F5, and as I said, we are in the US, staying in North America till last week, and we are here at Kota. We are in Austin. And today, 13 drivers, not the biggest of grids, but F5 kind of does struggle with numbers now, as most of these F5 drivers are getting opportunities in the likes of F3 and F4 occasionally. If they normally DNF, they get given the opportunity. As Elliot, the front runner, is out first. He has changed his helmet, I believe, to match the Red Bull, also having the colours of his home GP, because this is Elliot's home Grand Prix. It looks like it is matching the Red Bull. So, you know what, we'll ride on board with Elliot, because he will definitely be the first person to set a lap. And my guess for pole position, I'm going to say is going to be maybe, I'm not sure actually, I'm going to guess high 33s. Maybe like a 33.7, 33.6 maybe. That would be my guess, but that would be very fast if someone did get that. I think maybe actually towards 33.8 as Elliot has invalidated. Elliot, man. The second last corner. I don't even know if he's realised. Don't tell me he's turned on ERS. Oh my days, Elliot. Oh, he invalidated that lap. Oh, okay, so Elliot will be the first driver to set a lap. Down into third, but auto gears puts you down into second. It's a bit dumb. You would be third up into fourth there. And round here, you should be through seventh. Here and here, then down to sixth. Yeah, as that is not an invalidation for Elliot. I don't know how. Normally down to fifth. And stay fifth. The AI makes you go down to 3. That is the dumbest thing I've ever saw in my life. Anyway, up into, I don't know what turn this is. I'm going to get up. Probably down into second as the AI does it, but you want to be third or fourth. Ellie has a little spin. Well, saved it, I guess you could say. As he is coming up into turn 12. This is 920 tracks on this circuit. So turn 12 into turn 13 and round turn 14. Then the double left-hander, turn 15, and into the very left-hander 16. And then round this corner, you've got 17 and 18. It's a good lap from Elliot right now. And for the last 2 corners, turn 19, he does not invalidate. In the last corner, turn 20, what is it going to be for Elliot? It's going to be a 36.4. Definitely improve on that lap time. Definitely. As 1.835.8 as a banker. As I believe this is Joe Hamster on a lap, who has said he has been practicing Miami. He thought it was Miami because they're both US, Miami and Austin. So he has been practicing the wrong track, so he's going into this race with no practice. But 34.6 on his first lap, a good banker. Most of the other drivers coming across the line now with bankers. Villeneuve a 35.5. That is Milos. It goes 35.6 P4, and James Sullivan a 35.2 goes P. Maybe my prediction of a 33.678 maybe is a bit too much, potentially. I think it is. I think I've went maybe just a little too big on that prediction. As Zolf is nearly finished his lap. That was Bastian as well. Goes P2 with a 35 flat. But we're watching Zolf, the current championship leader, who can definitely extend this gap today. If he was to win, it's going to be in the 34s. It's 34.9. We'll put him P2. 3.5 tenths behind Joe Hamster. As Vilzu is saying, beg for Nick Hill not to crash. So that's what we do today. We beg for Nick Hill not to crash. He's doing his first lap on mediums. Who knows why he's doing that, but props to the guy, I guess. Personally, I would just use all your soft tires for the race, but you know Nick Hill's got other plans, so. As he goes a bit deep into first gear. I think this is the first time I've ever saw someone in first gear around that corner. As he invalidates, unlucky. As S4 and the drivers who have not set a lap time are on and out lap. Tommy PLR had a decent race last week. It was his first race in F5 after being demoted from F4 and nearly spins it there. But he took pole by like, I think it was 2.5, 3 tenths. It could have been more, I might just be forgetting. And then it went rain and then he was struggling a bit. And I'm pretty sure he went to about P4, P5. I could be wrong there again, because this was last week and a lot has happened this week for me personally, and also probably just, you know, in the league itself. As Tommy, we saw there, was struggling on traction. He's up into 8th gear. Jeez, 8th gear. As he has a 26.3 the first sector in 2nd gear. Bro, this man is on a mission to try spin. As he doesn't hit the apex, he misses the apex around turn 11. And now he goes down the straight. I wonder if he's running high or low wings, because of course, you know, some drivers might be using low wings for being beneficial on that straight. They're maybe not the greatest on the rest of the track, especially sector 3, which Tommy is going through right now. As he goes round turn 16 and does it well. Maybe a little lift round turn 17 and 18 here. No, he goes flat out. He sticks to a wider line, which isn't the best line to take, but you know, he does what he wants to do. Round the last corner, turn 20. What's it going to be for Tommy? In the 35s, I believe. No, 36.3. That will put him P8. It did look like a bit of a scruffy lap. We'll definitely be able to improve on that, I imagine, as it looks like Elliot Parker will be starting a lap. As we'll go on board with Tronk. Tronk having a very, very nice helmet there, of course, being a Spanish driver, repping the colours of Spain, as currently Fabricio sits P2 in the championship, as he goes wide. And actually, I think he's aborted this lap because he is a bit down on his time. Might see him dive in the pits, potentially. I think we will see him dive in the pits. I could be wrong, though. Might just get a banker. No. He will be diving in the pits. As S-Ford is also on a lap. Actually, Joe Hamster is just over half a tenth up on his time. Zolf, is he on a lap? Zolf is not on a lap. Bastian is on a lap. You know, but we'll watch him through Sector 1, because Sector 1 can be a bit of a pain. Bastian is just under a tenth up, which will put him potentially in contention for P2 right now. So we will have to wait and see if he's going to be up anymore. So that was someone. That was... Who was that? That was S-Ford. 35-7. Goes P7 provisionally in this lobby. As we'll go back to Bastian. Actually, Zolf starting the lap. Joe Hamster looks to... Oh, Joe Hamster spun on his lap. He's tried to go full out in that one corner, which I was mentioning. And he'll now be in the pits. As we're right on board with Bastian, he is just over a tenth up in his time, purple sector 2. So currently Bastian looks to be getting P2, but he has to improve a lot as Elliot Parker goes P2, improves by 1.6 seconds of 34.8. But Bastian, very, very close behind, could potentially take that P2 as Wani goes P2, but we'll stay on board with Bastian as he might be able to get up here. What is it going to be for Bastian? It's going to be a 34.6. So just like that, we saw 3 new drivers in P2. We saw Elliot with a 34.8, we then saw Wani with a 34.7, and we saw Bastian with a 34.6. As now Elliot is down in P5 as James Sullivan goes ahead of him with a 34.804. So now, we are getting very, very fast. As, surprisingly, Suchel has not set a lap time yet, but looks like he might be on the lap now. It's Zolf! That's Nick Hill spinning, but Zolf, I was not paying attention to Zolf. He improves by 5 tenths and sets a 34.4. What a lap. He goes P1 provisionally, and he goes just above a tenth ahead of Joe Hamster, the championship leader, of course. Always looking to extend the gap to rivals behind. Of course, in this instant, the closest behind to Zolf in the standings right now is Fabrizio Troncoso, who has not set a lap time yet, and then it is Stevie, who is not here today for the second race in a row now. Also will be missing next week as well. And it's Suchel actually. Suchel quite close behind, so really the top 3 drivers here today are Zolf, Tronk and Suchel, but interesting to see that Suchel and Tronk have both set not times yet. As Suchel's in the pits, he invalidated again. He has not been able to set a lap time and sitting in P4 in the standings with 2 wins to his name, specifically last week as well in Canada. He won by around 9 seconds. It did turn to inter conditions, and his pace in the inters around Canada was superb. And he took that win, his second win of the season, his second win in the Ero, as Zolf only took 6. May have those points removed, but we will see. But Zolf needs to stay up in P1. He needs to be up at the top of the table for most of the races now in order for him to keep the championship lead as he has it right now. As we are watching Tronk, who is on a lap time, it looks like a good lap this time. He comes round turn 16, and then he'll go into the 2 right corners of turn 17 and turn 18. His light fuel is flashing. I wonder if he's just got the fuel right. He goes into turn 19. He does it quite well. And into the last corner, turn 20. What is going to be for Tronk? In the 34s, 35s, maybe 35s. It's a 35.7. That's only going to put him in P10. And he definitely wants to be higher. Tronk might actually be close to not being able to set another lap time. Actually, yeah, it's going to be really, really close. That might be his first and only lap. because of the time. We will wait and see, as a few drivers are at the pits now and will be coming out for their final lap of the race. No, not final lap of the race, final lap of qualifying. Show Hamster is out, probably will want to improve. Of course, as I said, he's been practicing the wrong track. So the fact he is P2 right now and no practice shows, his driving capability. If he was to have the practice on the right track, he would be up there. As James Sullivan is on an outlap, Elliot Parker will be starting his lap soon. Earlier today, he had a 34.4, which would put him pole position right now. As Elliot sits P16 in the championship, scoring 8 points this season. But if you think about it, he has always been high up in qualifying and everything. He's just never been able to fully get it in the race. He's always crashed, or someone has crashed him, or he's got damage, or something like that. As we will see what Elliot Parker can do now. He comes round turn 1 and turn 2, and it looks like he does them relatively nicely. Round turn 3, 4, 5, 6. He doesn't validate there somehow. Round turn 7 and into... Oh, as Elliot spun, and it's a DNF. Wow, he was going so slow there. And that's a DNF. Tronk retires in the pit lane. So Tronk, who's sitting P2 in the championship, will be starting in P11 at least. Maximum P11, I should say. As Elliot, I know, will be quite frustrated with that. But we will ride on board with Joe Hamster, who is starting his lap time now. Zolf has retired in the pit lane. Zolf is happy enough with his lap time and will not be coming out now. So it's all up for Joe. Joe could take pole position here with 50 seconds left. He comes round turn 7 into the 3 corners of turn 8, 9 and 10. He does it nicely. His purple sector 1. I didn't see what the split time was as I was paying attention to see what corners he was going round. But anyway, he goes round turn 11. He gets the acceleration down very nicely, as he's going to go down the DRS straight. I wonder what the time this will be. He's going around the 3.4 mile track, the 5.5 kilometer track, I should say. Round turn 12 he will go. And what is his time? He is 2 tenths up. Joe Hamster in contention for pole right now. Round turn 13 and 14 into the double left-hander of turn 15 and turn 16. He gets the power down nice and early. And then round the 2 last corners where he spun on his previous lap, turn 17 and turn 18, he takes a wide line to be extra cautious. Round turn 19, is he still his 2 tenths up on his time? He needs to be about a tenth and a half up to be pole. Round the last corner, Joe Hamster, will he be pole? Yes, he will. It's a 34.2. He improves by nearly 4 tenths, and Joe Hamster will go provisional pole. The question is, will anyone contend him for pole? Wanny, no. James Sullivan, potentially. James Sullivan on pole! Suchel is the last driver who we are looking out for, but he isn't on the fastest of laps, as he will go P9, P4 in the championship. So it is a James Sullivan pole position. Wow, that came out of nowhere. We just saw him go round the last corner, and we could see he was 4.5 tenths up in sector 2 on his time, which would have put him in a 34.2, 34.3 range, which could have put him P2, but it looks like he improved a lot in the last sector. And it's going to be James Sullivan's first pole position in ERO. What a lap. A brilliant, brilliant lap from James. As James is very happy in the chat, as Joe Hamster is in P2, and we will see the championship leader start from P3 in this GP. We will be back in a quick second. As this is the grid for today, we have a British 1, 2. I wouldn't say 3 because, you know, Zoe for Republic of Ireland. But anyway, it's James Sullivan on pole, his first one in his Ero career, maybe his racing career, who knows. Then we have Joe Hamster in P2, Zolf, the championship leader in P3, Bastian in P4, Wani P5, Elliot Parker, the front runner in P6, and then Esfod P7, Villeneuve P8, Suchel P9, Milos P10, Tommy PLR P11, Fabricio in P12, and Nick Hill at the back in P13. Interesting to see how Fabricio and Suchel, P2 and P4 in the championship here today, second and third in the championship, I could guess you could say. They are sitting near the back of the grid compared to Zolf sitting in third, as it does not look cloudy whatsoever. So it looks like we're going to have a full out dry race. Strategy, I think there will be people on the softs. I am sure that Elliot Parker is planning on going on the softs because I was in a lobby with him earlier and he said he will probably go softs at the start and go attack mode at the start. So we might see an Elliot send into the first corner. First corner is going to be absolutely tragic. It's going to be chaos. But we will wait and see how it will go down very shortly. No formation lap as the game is still glitched. So we will see 3, 4, 5 red lights at Kota. It is lights out and away we go. Who gets the better start between James and Joe? It looks to be even actually. And we're going to see a side by side as Elliot is sending it down. I told you he was. Elliot is being ghosted. Don't want that to happen, but James keeps the lead of the race, but Joe is right behind him. As let's get the tyre up just to see. As you can see, it's a mix of tyres. It was expected medium, hard, and actually the only driver on the soft tyres is Isfod. As we have Bastian deciding to go onto the hards. Suchel on the hards, Milos on the hards, and Nick Hill on the hards. So, interesting strategy from some is that is Isfod. Isfod's had a mistake. Isfod is down as that was actually Milos as well, or Villeneuve. I'm not actually sure who that was, but we're going to see a fight here between the back three. Is that actually a 3 wide? I'm lost. No, it's not. As Milos sends it on Nick Hill, but Nick Hill's in P11 right now. He is defending quite nicely. As Zolf, championship leader, sitting in P3 right now, hasn't been able to make a move past, as I'm getting told to check the stream chat by Harvey. So we will see now what the stream chat is looking like. Harvey Cameron. Hello, Harvey. Hello. Says Blackwolf. Latvian beer is good, not gonna lie. That is good to hear that you're enjoying yourself rather than racing with us. The better options to be here with us, but you know, you can do what you want as it is. Tommy getting past Isfod and Nick Hill and Milos both fighting, as Nick Hill's just going to hold off Milos and Fabricio so much as Elliot on the second lap of the race already has a 3-second time penalty. Well done, Elliot. Very nice. Very nice. As Elliot will probably be in a party with Bastian, I imagine. Maybe Zolf as well. Enjoy it, and we'll join back later. As Bastian, oh my days. Is he using? Yeah, so something as well. Looking at the ERS, I wonder if any of the drivers know about it. You cannot use your ERS here at all. You lose ERS overall in the race. Even if you don't use any on the lap, you lose about 1% or 2. So ideally, you don't want to be using any ERS at all throughout this whole race, which means your raw pace has to be on point. As James is sticking at it in P1, but Joe Hamster sets the fastest lap of the race, so potentially Joe is faster. As Joe's all over the back of Zulf. Championship leader is out with the DRS range and gets a 3-second time penalty. We witnessed it. So that's going to be Zulf dropping back by, 2 positions. He's going to get overtaken by Wani and Bastian with that penalty right now. So now, I imagine he might be on attack mode potentially, as he will look to try get back in the DRS range. But we're seeing a move for the lead. Joe's used that bit of ERS, and he is up into the lead of the race. As Joe has nearly dropped James out of the DRS range. Wow. I imagine maybe a fastest lap here. Bastian's gone! Bastian's gone! Bastian's gone! Bastian's gone! What happened? It's a safety car. It's on the left-hander, isn't it? Oh, he's binned it on the left. Oh, Bastian. As Fabricio is in the pit lane, I imagine might go to hard and try go to the end of the race. I don't think he would be able to do it, but you know, worth a shot. Always worth a shot. But that has, I don't want to say it saved Zulf, but he was not in the DRS range, so now we can have a fighting chance again to try catch back up, I guess you could say. As we are really just waiting for the drivers to catch up to the safety car now. You know, whenever there's a safety car, it's really just like a boring few minutes. Of course, then we get back underway, so a lot better when it gets underway again. As a few drivers actually going into the pit lane, as we see, who is it? Isford and Elliot. Elliot, I don't think he had a front wing change at all, but him and Isford both going to the medium tyres, will both be in P10 and 11, as we haven't even caught up to the safety car yet. I imagine we'll catch up now, and then we'll have a lap or two. As it physically can't be in. Is that was someone leaving the session, wasn't it? No, I think it was Bastien actually. As safety car can't be in this lap because it's only been out for one lap, so it will be the next lap. Why is Joe slowing everyone down? It is not in this lap. As Elliot, oh my days, Elliot is spun. Have I just saw what I saw? No, Elliot's one in the pit lane. Oh, why is Elliot? Oh, what is happening between Zulf and Wani? Now, who knows what's happened there? Probably Zulf slowing down, and then Wani's not being able to react in time, and as Elliot is on his old mediums. I don't understand anymore. He should really be going on the hards, but you know what? Yes, we'll go back to Joe, as it definitely will be in this lap. As yes, safety car in this lap, so very, very nice to see. So when is Joe gonna go is the question. As James is sticking there with him, safety car is now in, so he could go now if he wants to. I imagine he might go now. Yeah, he goes just before the corner, just to get a bit of a better exit, and yeah, he does get him. But who is there for James? It is Zulf. I can guarantee you Zulf will send this here. No, he doesn't. Okay. Interesting. I thought he was going to send it there. As there's a move in the back, it is Isford getting the move on Nick Hill. Try to get past him as quick as you can. This battle between Elliot and Nick Hill is going to be very interesting to watch, as Elliot has got that line completely wrong. As we'll just watch maybe the back of the grid right now, because Elliot will probably be in an attack, also Isford. Nick Hill using ERS. Elliot also using. Nick Hill still using. Okay. Zulf on Money. I just saw it. Side by side. Oh, near contact. Zulf manages to avoid it. Very nice from him. And it leaves Wani completely compromised. Suchel is there. So's Tommy. Tommy spun. And that's on the racing line. Thank goodness. Tommy accelerated there. And he ghosted. Oh my days. That could have been catastrophic there. But now it's Zulf trying to stay in the DRS range again. But now Wani's away. Wani is not in the DRS range. Massive mistake there as well. So a 2-second gap. the top three. Of course, time penalties, make it different. As Elliot has gotten past Nick Hill, but Nick Hill using, like he always does, will go for the move down the inside. Elliot is still there. Elliot gets sticks the move. He keeps the move. As James is now at the DRS of Joe. It's actually very, very close right now to who's actually going to get this. As Zolf is in the DRS range of James, but James is nearly 2 seconds back of Joe. Unbelievable how Joe did 0 practice at this track, and look at his speed. As a lot of fighting at the back. Nick Hill, Tommy and Tronk. As Suchel gets a time penalty. He's sitting in P5 right now. Oh, what a move! Oh, Tommy, take a bow, man. Wow, wow, wow. What a move that was. It may be at the back of the grid, but oh my days, that was nice as Nick Hill has spun. But can we appreciate that move? That was beautiful. As Villeneuve on Suchel sends it. Oh, he takes the inside line, and Suchel might actually stick this. He does. Suchel sticks it in P5 right now. S4 has a moment. S4 might have a look and send it. No. S4 on newer tyres, remember, as well. The new mediums. Compared to everyone else, these kind of dead mediums or hards, like Suchel's. Look at the acceleration S4 can get around there. As it's still James out of the DRS. Zolf, actually James blinking. And actually Darius might be out of the ranges when he gets a penalty. So now, Villeneuve is actually sitting in P4. S4 might even be P5. Milos might even be P6. As Elliot, who's right behind Milos actually, gets another 3-second time penalty. We might actually see a send here, because if you know Elliot, he loves a good send. But he does not. Probably better exit. Knew it. He tries to get the better exit. Milos not having any not having any DRS, but using that little bit of DRS, and he is ahead of Elliot, but Elliot sends it and gets the move done relatively easy, I would say. As continuing to watch S1, actually Zolf closing in on James. James falling, actually no, James isn't falling behind. He's sticking the same pace as Joe. It's Zolf actually catching up. As that is yellows, it is Tommy. Tommy has spun That is turn 17 and turn 18 for him. Second time he spun this race. Pole position last weekend, and now, and not the greatest of results. I think it was like P5, P6. Still, you know, good for his first F5 race, but now spun twice. Can definitely pick up on his results. As Joe's using, Joe has noticed James is catching. Joe's dropping the pace now, and is starting to use a tiny amount of ERS. As I don't want to say Zulf is chilling, but like he's just using the DRS from James just to keep up and actually not having to use his ERS. A Suchel has passed Wani, and Esford has passed Villeneuve. Villeneuve maybe look. Whoa! Esford actually sends it on Wani. Never mind, I did not see that because I was looking backwards. I thought he was just getting a move on Villeneuve. Esford gets two drivers. Whoa! Villeneuve! That's damage for Villeneuve. And it's Elliott! Through! Wait, no, please, I really want to do it. Go on, Elliott, do it. Through goes Elliott! Sorry, I really wanted to do that because he got the two of them. He did like the switchback. But that is damage to Villeneuve's wing, I think. Maybe Wani's. Don't see any damage though, so I'm confused. So that's the Red Bull crew out. There's no damage for Villeneuve. He goes on the hards anyway because it is time to pit for most of the drivers, which means we might see Joe, James and Zulf pitting soon, which would leave Suchel for the lead of the race. But Esford on the new medium tyres means that Esford actually as well with zero penalty means Esford will be in the lead of the race if these front three decide to pit as Zulf is using. I think Zulf is wanting to move now for P2 on James. He's not waiting around. He's going to send it on James. And James kind of backs out of the move, and Zulf, the championship leader, is up into the lead of the race as Joe is now deciding to fully push, picking up the speed, and he is gapping the drivers behind. As I wonder, will we see any of the drivers in now? Joe is in. Make sure you don't cut the pit entry. He is fine. Zulf is in. James is staying out. Interesting. Suchel, of course, will be staying out as he is on the hards, and Esford will be. As Esford might actually look for the move now on Suchel. He's going to send it into turn one up the inside on the near mediums. Suchel maybe tries to look to get a switch back, but does not work. As whereas Joe and Zulf coming out, Joe is coming just behind Milos. A little bit of fresh air, but not much. Zulf, however, does have the fresh air, but the fresh air is because of the gap to Joe, who is now net P1, so you don't want to be having that at all. As Joe is using to try get to Milos, as Zulf is using as well. Or Zulf actually just gained a lot on Joe there. As Elliott quite close to Suchel and Esford. Elliott might actually look for a move here. Elliott tries to take an alternative line, and it's going to take the wider line for a better exit, and he's got the better exit. Suchel defends off Elliott, but Elliott, just like he did to Villeneuve, is going to go round the outside. What a move! This is what Vettel done on Alonso or someone in the actual real GP. Ellie has a mistake though. Suchel has to back out a little bit of the move. As that is Tommy PLR spinning. That is also in the wall and damage. But I'll go back to Elliot and Suchel. Suchel, we might see him send it. No, we will not. Elliot actually has to brake later. Suchel nearly goes into the back of him. James is staying out, I should say. Which definitely is losing him time. As Isford has now just went mad with the pace and has just decided to push it completely to the limits. As he is... Actually, Elliot's catching back up, Isford. Maybe not... Well, I don't want to say... Whoa, Isford, massive moment there. I didn't want to say maybe not as fast as we thought he was, but from how he was gapping Elliot to Elliot now just closing about a second on him there was very interesting. As Joe is getting past Milos, he's making this move and he is passed even before the corner. This allows him now to fully push and means Milos will be holding up Zolf, who's behind. By the looks of things as well, Milos will not be getting DRS, which means, of course, they're going to be dropping a lot further back. As James is in the pit lane, he was actually faster than Isford, which is interesting to see, as he'll be in now, but the question is, will he be out in P3? Net P3, I mean, by the way. Most likely, yes, by the looks of things, as Zolf is getting past Milos. Whoa, big contact there. Not leaving much room. But Zolf is up into P5, net P2. Of course, with that time penalty, though, it's not the greatest, as James has fresh air. Interesting to see, as he has just came out of the pits on the hard tyres now. As Elliot is all over the back of Isford. Elliot Parker could potentially take the lead of the race, the lead of his home GP. He is using Elliot Parker, the front runner, wants to make this happen. Does he want to make it happen now or later is the question. And later is the answer. Of course, with the time penalties, he won't be actual P1, but track position, he would be P1. As actually Suchel is right behind as well now on the hard tyres. As Elliot's line through there, man, he can take it with so much confidence, as he is all over the back of Isford, as Isford is in the pit lane. So, Elliot Parker is now in the lead of his home race, and he will definitely be happy with that. Suchel is also in the pits now to go on the medium tyres, which means Elliot now has to deal with Joe and Zolf, who are behind on the fresh hard tyres. Elliot might actually look for a medium soft here, because he isn't losing much time to Joe and them behind. So who knows? Elliot might be looking for a different strategy here, potentially. As there's yet... Oh! Zolf! The championship leader is round! He's down into P5. Oh my! Okay, so now it's literally for Joe to win now. I mean, it looked like it might have been him, but now it's Joe's win to lose, as he's just so far ahead of James. 9 seconds. We might see a massively dominant win here today for Joe. Maybe around the 10-second mark, unless there's a safety car, which would ruin things. As Elliott is sticking out on 9-second of penalties, so actually Elliott stays P2 right now. As Zolf, I was about to say Zolf's going to try getting a move on Milos, but Milos dives into the pit lane. That's Villeneuve. Villeneuve's bend it on the last corner. I think that's damage as well, potentially to the left end plate of his front wing. We'll see if we can get given a better camera angle potentially. Game, please. I don't want to view the nose of Villeneuve's car. There we go. No damage. I wasted all that time just to say no damage. Anyway, Esford Suchel on the new medium tyres are behind Tronk, who is on the old hards. Tronk may be looking for a safety car potentially, because if he pits, he's going to go all the way down, probably to the back of the grid. Around P9 or P10, I think he will come out. So he's definitely waiting, as he hasn't had the greatest of exits, and Esford has passed Suchel. Suchel's a bullet right now. Oh my days! Fabricio, your wings. That's interesting wings there. We might see Elliott in the pit lane now. Are we? No, we're not. Elliott is going medium softs. You have to respect it as well, because he's currently faster than James, who is on these holder tyres, of course. As we'll ride on board with Joe, as he might look to try get the move on Elliott soon. He's kind of... I wouldn't want to say he's all over him, but... might use here, yeah. It looks like Elliott's lead will no longer last. Joe shouldn't even really be using. There we go, he's turned it off. Elliott now drops to P2, and Joe Hamster takes the lead of the race. Yet again, now with a 10-second gap to James in P3. As Elliott, currently, even with his 9-second penalties, will stay in P2. But the thing is, if he pits now, I don't know, it's not race over for him, but it's not the greatest for him, because he'll drop down to about P7, P8, and then with his penalties, might even drop out of the points as he takes that corner a little wide. Yeah, Elliott is definitely going medium soft, and might even be gambling on a safety car. Who knows at this point. But we see Esford not being able to keep up with Zolf, and Suchel not being able to keep up with Esford. As Tommy PLR is close to Nick Hill, who has no ERS, because Nick Hill doesn't know what ERS management is. That was mean. I'm sorry, Nick. As he sends it on Tommy, but Tommy is up into P11. Props to Elliott as well. He is sticking with Joe on 17 lap old mediums. Will definitely be in Nelson for softs, I imagine. We might see it now. Actually, not sure how I'm not sure how long the sauce lasts. No, he's not. I mean, there isn't really any fights going on. It's really Elliot keeping up with Joe and Suchol keeping up with Esford. Apart from that, not much else is going on right now. As Daniel is saying, for the love of God, Elliot, hit. And yeah, he's going for the sauce. Yeah, definitely. Also, why did Esford pit so early? Not sure actually, because he was like the first pit stop. It was because virtual safety car, I think, and then he wanted to. You know what? I don't know what they're thinking, so I'm just gonna be quiet. Elliot's mediums have dropped. Maybe a puncture? No. Pit now, Elliot. Your tires aren't there. Yes, Elliot is in now. Ah, Elliot. That ain't the way you pit, mate. You know what it is, what it is. I think you'll still be in good contention for a few points here this weekend. As he is on the soft tyres, very nice to see. Might come out of a Tronk and Wani here, but Wani being held up from Tronk, yeah, Tronk's setup is definitely wrong. Wani's on 3 seconds, so 6-second big gap. Elliot needs to build to Wani behind in order to keep P6, which would be a very nice result for him. It would be 8 points, currently the amount of points he actually has this season. So look at the gap to Joe, 10 seconds. This is unbelievable, complete domination. Might even be able to get an F4 in time. As the only battle I can really see going on right now is Suchol to Esford. Actually, Zulf and James Sullivan. I did not see. Whoa, wait, Esford. He didn't have a time penalty. Zulf does. So, Zulf's actually looking for the move. Zulf's drained his whole battery. He's going to send it. Whoa, the space has been given from James. Round the outside, round the outside, round the outside, round the outside. And then it becomes the inside break a bit early. Whoa. Might be another warning for Zulf there. Potentially. as F4 has just went up. Joel's gap is going to be 12-13 seconds. Sitchell, another penalty. Oh, Elliot. Hello. It's Elliot on the softs right now. His pace is unbelievable. He's got the 6-second gap he needed to Wane, and he's currently closing on Sitchell. Softs number 3. Yes, so it's SFOD podium now. It's SFOD for P3. And Zulf, the championship leader, will not be getting a podium again. As you know, if we stay on board Westwood, we can see James and Zulf ahead while also watching Sucho behind, so we can watch both viewpoints of these battles, which I guess is nice to see. As Elliot is closing on Sucho, I'm watching here. I'm sorry, by the way, to anyone watching. I don't really know what to say, because, I mean, there isn't really much going on. The only thing I really can see right now is this fight, second, third, between James and Zulf, and then Sucho and Isfod. Nearly just dropped my controller there as well, by the way. That's why I made that switch. Whoa, Sucho sends it! Talking about wanting action. We are getting action, baby. Sucho. Oh, maybe looking for a switchback. Sucho spun. Sucho's round. He was looking for the switchback and he's round. And that now leaves Elliot in the best position possible. As Elliot is now P5 because of that gap to Sucho. So now it's Elliot for P5, which is nice. Sucho spins again. It's now down to P7. As Elliot is closing. Elliot, I feel like it's going to cause a bit, I don't want to say chaos, but there's definitely stuff going to happen here at the end of this race. And I think Elliot will be the starter of it. That's not the right word. I don't know what word I'm trying to find though to use that. He is in the DRS range of Isford. This is interesting. Zulf actually on the back of James. A good exit and he can look for the move. James not using Zulf, using Zulf up into P2, but with the time penalties will still be out of the podium position, as Elliot does have the DRS, as his fastest lap has been taken from Tommy. Tommy is taking the fastest lap for this race, and James is dropping fast. Zulf's pace is picking up, And Joe's chilling really, he's not doing much. Elliot's passed, Elliot's been running the outside of Isford. Isford's dropping. I don't know what this podium can be anymore, to be honest. I have no clue whatsoever. All I know is... No, hold on, let me do the math. So it's Joe P1, and then it's second, third, fourth, fifth, which I'm not sure about. Currently, it will be... Let me just check the penalties. It's going to be James P2, Isford P3, Zolf P4, Elliot P5. Yeah. That's what's going to be. So I have got it. Isford. Isford gets a time penalty. Oh mate, I was just saying about what the podium's going to be, and then Isford gets a time penalty. And now I have absolutely no clue. Because, oh my days, I'm so confused right now. That's yellows, that's Suchel. Gone again. Okay, so it's now Joel, James Sullivan, Zolf, Isford, Elliot. I think. Yeah, that's the order right now. So Zolf right now will be getting a podium. And he has been gaining on Joe nearly like a second and a few laps there, but Joe is really chilling right now and he's starting to use ERS a little bit now. As Elliot is on the back of James. This is actually going to be a nice little fight between Zolf, James and Elliot here. As Nick Hill is lapped. Wow. As we enter the final lap of the race, and it is Joe Hamster. Elliot gets a number 3. Elliot's gonna stay in P5 somehow. It's unbelievable how he's gonna keep P5 with 12 seconds of penalties. But we're gonna ride on board with Joe, as he didn't have many races at the start of the season. I know we're only in round 7, but Joe's record this season has been relatively nice. He won the pre-season race, which was at Mexico. He then went on to... Give me a second. He then went on to not race in Bahrain. He raced in Japan and got a podium. And then he didn't race in Spain, Zandvoort or Austria. And then DNF'd in Canada last week in the first lap. So this is Joe's second real race, I guess you could say. As Joe did crash on the first lap last week. Joe is waving. He knows we are watching. He's enjoying this. As I think this is potentially Joe's first win in Ero. I'm going to say it is. I could definitely be wrong. But Joe, it's going to come round the last 2 corners. It's been such a dominant race from him. And Joe comes round the last corner. Joseph Hearn is going to slow down over the finish line and wins in the US in Austin at COTA. We're going to have Zulf across the line in second, but James is going to take the second position spot with penalties, and it will be Zulf P3, Esfeld P4, Elliot. Elliot's run out of fuel! Elliot just got a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Elliot, oh my days. Chonk might beat him. Oh my days, oh my days. Elliot. As it's Wani in P5, Villeneuve P6, Chonk P7, Milos P8, Elliot P9, Suchel P10, and we await on Tommy and Nick Hill. As Tommy coming across the line now with the fastest lap of the race. It will be P11 for him. And Nick Hill, the last driver, comes across the line. And that is COTA over for F5. Very, very, very nice race. Very dominant race from Joseph, who is on the top step of the podium. You know what? We'll watch the podium celebrations. Why not? Do the griddy. Is it the griddy? No, he's doing the wave. Boo, no griddy. Anyway, it was a 1-2 in quali, and it's a 1-2 in the race, but instead they're switched about. It's the same top three as it was in quali and in the race. Joe Hamster takes the win by 8.3 seconds. You've then got James Sullivan in P2, a very nice race from him. And after championship leader Zulf extending the lead yet again to now over a race gap, I'm pretty sure. It's in Isfod in P4, a decent race from him. Wani in P5, a nice race from him. We haven't saw much of him this season, so a nice result for him. Villeneuve in P6. Chonk, we didn't see much of him, as he was at the back most of the race, but then when the actual safety car came out, he gambled, winning the hards, and has went to the end of the race on those sets, which is very nice for him. Milos in P8, Elliot in P9. How many penalties did he just get? Because he got 10 at the end, which he would be able to gain his time back. You've then got Suchel P10, Tommy P11, Nick Hill P12, and Bastian P13 as race director. Oh no, I haven't got it. But, what do you call it? You've got Elliot with 22 seconds. Anyway, thank you all for watching today in F5 COTA. You can tune in next week at the same time. And we are going to be going to Azerbaijan. We're now going to Europe, as we will be at Baku. You can go over and tune in to F. But anyway, like I was saying, thank you for today's race. You can go over and tune in right now to F4, and then you can tune in tomorrow at what is the times? You can tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. for F3 and F2. F3 being moved to 7 p.m. GMT because of the IRL F1 Saudi Arabian qualifying. So F3 and F2 on at the same time tomorrow. So I'm not going to say what tier to tune into. I'm an F2. That's all I'm going to say. And you can tune into F1 on Sunday 6 p.m. GMT, which I will be commentating, I think, alone again. But we'll wait and see. Yeah, thank you to everyone for watching today's race. And we will see you all next week at Baku. Thank you very much, and we'll see you